found this Chinese key template in a stencil book. I printed a copy out using a large format printer. I thought it would make a good-looking privacy screen. I liked that Chinese key pattern, very detailed, nice straight lines. I'm using Logic Trace 2018 to digitize this diagram, and I've selected polyline tracing. It's pretty straightforward tracing. Just follow the lines. Just touch it here and there as you go around the corners. To keep track of where I am on the diagram, I always mark a red spot with a red pencil to show where I started. Initially, when I looked at this diagram and I printed the whole half, but I only needed that one corner because these two pieces can be rotated to make different types of files. So I'm only going to draw the two sections. Digitizing these two pictures is going to end up giving me 6 pictures because I'll be able to rotate them and make a square. So I'll end up having 6 files. Using the completed file to make the whole square, I'll end up engraving 6 panels for this privacy screen. You'll see that later. You can see here I'm really coming along. I've got the right hand side done. Now I'm doing the left hand side. Now we're getting ready to create the file, and then I'll load it into Vectric Aspire 10.0, check the vector quality, split up the files, and start doing the orientation to make the full square. Using Vectric Aspire 10.0 does not create a toolpath for a CO2 laser. All I need is a DXF file. Shown here, I've taken those 2 files, split them up, and rotated them right around the perimeter to make a square. Now I'm going to take that finished DXF file, I'm going to load it into the software, into the CO2 laser, and I'm going to engrave that pattern. I'm engraving a 1/4 inch pine panel. The panel is about 20.5 by 23 7/8, and it took about 5 minutes for each panel. It's actually not an engrave. It's actually a cut, but it's a lower power cut. It's what I call a scribe, just enough to cut into it about a 32nd of an inch. It makes a nice effect, almost like a black ink. This laser has a working table of about 39 inches by 24 inches, so the panel fit easily on the table, sideways. I used magnets to align the panel on the laser bed. That way all I have to do is just lift the panel, put the new panel on. I don't have to worry about any measurements. Then each panel would be centered and each one would be equal. This is how the finished panel looks. And here I've built the frames to house the panels. Here I've tested one panel. Well, the privacy screen is done, the panels are all in, and it looks good.